the minute the plane took off, I was suddenly in floods of tears.
Charlie Walker has had a year he won't forget in a hurry. Earlier this year, he was thrown into a Russian prison on the charges of journalism, which carries a 15-year sentence. So what happened? Charlie is an explorer and author and was on a scientific expedition in a remote region of Russia.
Or Sakha Republic, which is the coldest inhabited place on Earth, and set off in February this year, which turned out to be not great timing because 3 days after I arrived in Yakutsk, the regional capital, Russia invaded Ukraine.
Invasion has begun.
Ukraine woke to explosion.
But Charlie chose to continue, facing temperatures of -49 and battling the bitter cold.
I was twice as close to the North Pole as I was to Moscow. I was, just so far away that it felt in that, far-flung northeast corner of Russia like I was somehow at a remove.
But things started to go wrong towards the end of the trip when he arrived in Tiksi.
They knew I was coming. My progress was fairly well charted by that point. Arrested, taken to the police station.
Charlie was thrown into a Russian prison, unsure when he would be released or if he would be used as a political pawn for Putin's war.
It was boring, it was frustrating, it was mostly frightening though, because I didn't know how long I was going to be there. They had told me, we're going to deport you, but then they stuck me in this prison and didn't tell me how long I'd be there. They said, it could be 2 weeks, could be a month, could be longer.
Charlie was in prison for 4 weeks, and at the end...
They ran me through the departure lounge to the gate, put me onto the flight, the door of the plane closed behind me, and 10 minutes later the plane took off, which is probably the most relieved I've ever felt in my life, I reckon.
Charlie is happy to be back in London now and is writing a book on his latest adventure. But it might be a while till he sets foot on Russian soil again.